Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a massive paradigm shift happening right now in applied AI and social commerce. Literally, the entire way brands interact with us is being rewritten from the ground up. We're going to unpack a company called Nectar Social and how they are building what they call the agentic operating system for modern commerce. Everyone in the tech world is chasing this leap from passive AI tools to active AI agents. So let's break down what that actually means when it comes to billions of daily consumer interactions.
So think about this for a second. How exactly do brands talk to millions of customers all at once? If you're a major global brand, your customers expect an instant, totally personalized response. They want to ask a hyper-specific question about a product and get a tailored recommendation right then and there. And this right here is the massive bottleneck for modern businesses. You've got this incredible, limitless consumer desire for connection, and it just slams into the hard physical limits of what a human team can actually do.
You know the old playbook, right? You run some ads, point those ads to a website, and hope people buy. Well, that funnel has completely collapsed. Today, the real marketing funnel lives entirely inside platforms like Meta, TikTok, and Reddit. Gen Z is spending hours a day on these apps, and buying decisions, they're happening in the comment sections, inside direct messages, and within creator communities. The actual conversation has completely left the channels that marketers are used to tracking.
But here's the crazy part. Even with this massive shift, brands are still throwing over $750 billion, yes with a B, dollars a year at digital ads, completely chasing diminishing returns. Our feeds are flooded with AI-generated creative, our inboxes are totally saturated. So brands are pouring hundreds of billions into the top of this old funnel, while the actual conversations driving buyer intent are slipping further and further out of their reach.
And to make things even more complicated, check this out. 95% of community conversations about a brand happen completely outside of official tags or hashtags. People aren't necessarily tagging your company, they're just talking. For a human team trying to track this, engage, and actually drive sales, it's literally an impossible task. You just can't throw enough human hours at a problem where almost all the vital data is buried in endless digital noise.
Which brings us to the core conflict. Infinite AI content requires infinite brand presence. For years, brands have relied on these fragmented, clunky legacy tools, one app for listening, a different one for replying, another one for management. But a human team juggling disconnected software simply cannot scale to meet the demand of today's internet. No human team can physically show up in every single conversation that matters.
All right, Section 1. Meet Nectar Social, the solution. Nectar is an AI platform built specifically to solve this exact problem: community management at massive scale. They just came out of stealth mode last year after realizing the old marketing stack was totally broken, and the founding team is honestly fascinating. It was founded by sisters Misbah and Farah Uraisi, and their background is just unmatched. Misbah used to lead product at Meta and X, directly shaping how billions of people discover content. Meanwhile, Farah literally built the core infrastructure for Facebook groups, scaling active communities to over 1 billion users. So they're taking that massive global infrastructure experience and applying it right to the brand level. Naturally, that kind of pedigree turns heads in the venture capital world. Frederick Dam over at GV, which used to be Google Ventures, put it perfectly. He said, "This is what customers want, this is actually what brands need, and this is why we invested in Nectar Social." When you have top-tier investors making statements that definitive, you know for sure the market pain point is huge and the tech behind the solution is seriously compelling. Let's move to Section 2, how AI agents work. So first off, what exactly is an agentic operating system? Well, it's an AI platform that autonomously manages social intelligence, community engagement, and commerce workflows end-to-end. The absolute key word here is autonomously. This isn't just some passive dashboard sending alerts to a human. It's an active, unified system that actually executes the work, collapsing the listening, the messaging, the insights, and the attribution all into one single engine. Now, to safely act as the voice of a brand, Nectar relies on 4 foundational layers. Step 1 is context. It constantly pulls real-time cultural data from Meta, Reddit, and TikTok, so the AI is never just guessing what's going on. Step 2 is brand judgment. This is where the marketing team sets incredibly strict rules for voice and tone. Step 3 is action, actually deploying these autonomous agents into DMs and comments at superhuman scale. And finally, Step 4 is attribution, tying that one single social interaction directly back to measured revenue. Day to day, this operates as a continuous loop for the marketing team. Analyze, train, test, deploy.
They analyze real-time intel, they train the AI on the right tone, and crucially, they test the responses. They use a strict human-in-the-loop approach to validate against real past messages to guarantee absolute brand safety. Only then do they let it deploy. Essentially, it turns marketing teams from manual typists into high-level editors with great taste, letting the AI handle the heavy lifting. Which brings us to Section 3, Traction and Series A Funding. To see how this looks in the real world, we just have to look at who's already using it. You've got massive cultural heavyweights like Liquid Death, ELF Beauty, and Figma, right alongside fast-growing brands like Solawave, Jones Road Beauty, and Glimnetic, and they're using Nectar to drive real-world sales. Just to give you an idea, Jones Road Beauty saw their engagement boost by 150%, and Glimnetic hit roughly 80% automation in their DMs. They are scaling personal connections and driving sales at the exact same time. If you want to really grasp the scale of that adoption, check this out. Less than a year out of stealth mode, Nectar is already executing over 10 million autonomous conversations every single week. That volume jumped 5x in just a recent 3-month window, engaging upwards of 50 million users. It is absolute validation that an agentic system like this is the only way to operate at the sheer volume modern commerce demands. But look, volume without results is just noise, right? So here is the most important metric: $100 million. Nectar's platform has already attributed a staggering $100 million in revenue directly back to these social interactions. Because they can track cross-channel performance and tie a comment directly to a purchase, they are proving once and for all that community engagement isn't just some fluffy brand exercise. It is a highly measurable, massively lucrative sales channel. And with undeniable numbers like that, it's no surprise they just locked in a $30 million Series A round. Menlo Ventures led the charge with major participation from the Menlo Anthology Fund, which is actually partnered with Anthropic, plus backing from GV, True Ventures, and Kinship Ventures. They're going to use that capital to hire aggressively across AI, engineering, and market strategy, really cementing their dominance in this totally new category of software. So, as we wrap up this explainers, I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to think about. If AI can perfectly scale your brand's voice across millions of private conversations simultaneously, is traditional marketing officially obsolete? The old funnel has completely collapsed. Legacy tools are missing 95% of the conversation, and an agentic OS is already driving hundreds of millions in revenue. The very landscape of commerce is shifting beneath our feet. Keep your eyes on this fascinating intersection of AI and social communities, and thank you so much for joining me today.